A long story about onycholysis. Everyone is afraid of it, but few people understand what to do with it. Today, I'll update you on the progress of these nails during our second appointment. Later, I'll show whether they're growing out or not. Next, let's begin the treatment. I'll use my special clippers to shorten the length. They're called straight cutters, and this tool is usually used by professionals, but you can also have it at home. I even use it just to trim my own nails and for professionals. It's used either for working with fused nails or for trimming the length of the free edge. In general, it's a great tool for removing length in our case. Here I'm showing my model's third toe, which has this deformation. I'm showing with my hand why it's deformed. It's just from constant pressure by shoes. You've probably already noticed that our main focus is the big toe, which has that scary onycholysis, and the reason for this onycholysis is actually the same shoes. Here, it's absolutely clear and 100% proven that she was simply wearing shoes that were one size too small. That's why her toes were being pressed, and as a result of systematic gradual trauma, onycholysis developed, and some of the nails just became deformed. And by the way, we can also see on the pads of the second, third, and fourth toes that the nails were being pressed, the skin was rubbing, and all of this became rough and thickened and so on. Well, what's done is done. We'll just work with what we have now. Now I'm moving on to treating the big toe. This is our second cleaning, so I've worked on it before, and now we can start to see progress. Here's an interesting fact. Many people, especially those who are just starting to work with onycholysis, often hear from clients that after a cleaning, their nail isn't growing back or reattaching, and so on. First, onycholysis doesn't reattach, it grows out. These are very different. So, if the nail has separated from the nail bed, it won't stick back on, meaning it won't reattach, but it can grow out, and as it grows, it can reconnect to the tissue. That's exactly why we do these cleanings, to make this happen. The purpose of cleaning any onycholysis is to remove dry skin and any unnecessary dead areas of that skin. The main problem areas, like under the nail right now, often get in the way. You see that I'm using a curette. By the way, you should definitely take note of this. Probably one of the best and most favorite tools of a podiatrist is the curette. Using this tool, I remove what I can, assess the problem, and understand the situation. Next, we'll use the next instruments and do a light treatment, not instant or super shiny rollers. Our goal is to clean and free the nail immediately. Keep in mind we're offering help now, not aiming for perfection. Those are different goals. Since the feet here are still very, very moist, I use talc. Mine is potastol. This talc is actually for feet, but I really love using it for treatment. I just love it because it has a pleasant scent. The thing is, this is a TVS with rather blunt edges, but they're not dull in the sense that they don't file, it's just that they don't cut. So these aren't the kind of edges we usually see on carbide bits, for example, for removal, but still this bit is actually carbide. And with this kind of tool, it's really great and very comfortable to lift the cuticle and clean off most of the pterygium. These bits are especially good to use when the cuticle is very thin. The pocket doesn't open at all. Nothing is lifted. You should try this. Don't worry about the carbide. This bit is safe. It's designed in an interesting way. Now I'm going to move on to the next bit, and this is everyone's favorite pedicure drop bit with an intermediate notch. Here it's red and blue. You don't need to push it in all the way. Leave a gap. I use talc since the feet are still damp. And the better your skin is prepared, the drier it is, the longer and better your bits will work. My bits have natural diamond, but even a super excellent bit, if you work on damp skin with traces of cream, it will clog no matter how perfect it is. And of course, it's also important to clean these bits, and it's very important that the equipment you work with doesn't let you down either. In my case, I'm holding a Dr. Alex device. I have the SP130 here. It's the one that's kind of medical pathological. Yes, it's the priciest device in the line, but it's likely my favorite too. I used it for manicures for a while, then put the new 110 there, and later moved the 130 to my workspace. That's where I usually have pods, stories, and pedicure-related things. Things are complicated, so it's crucial to be delicate to avoid damaging the cuticle or causing discomfort to the client. That's why I used the 130 from Alex there. I've been working with this device for about 2 years now, if I'm not mistaken, basically since it first came out. So I was one of the first people to get this device, and of course I'm thrilled with it. It's exactly the same one, the very same. It hasn't let me down all this time. This device stayed with me through tough challenges, record attempts, and the New Year's cutting event. I'm still continuing the treatment. As you can see, I'm doing a standard cuticle treatment and removing a bit of thickness and volume from the nail plate itself. Constant pressure causes it to get a bit damaged and bunch up like an accordion. That's why I remove the excess thickness, because the thicker the nail plate is, the harder it is to work with. Typically, when nails curl, thinning the nail plate slightly relieves tension. In the meantime, we're getting closer to cleaning up our onycholysis more precisely. I do this very often and carefully. During cleaning, avoid touching the skin and focus only on the nail plate. And the whole point and purpose of cleaning up onycholysis is that this cleaning should be done as thoroughly as possible. That means everything should be completely evened out, so there shouldn't be any border, there shouldn't be any of that little white line like the free edge anywhere. Everything should go smoothly, and you must treat the nail fold. Right there where we have a lot of dry skin built up, so that when the nail grows, it has space to grow. If you don't remove dry skin, onycholysis and the nail plate can't grow, since they'll just get stuck in the leftover dry skin. This is important, so treat that area too. Next, I took the following bit from my pedicure bit set, and here I have my classic favorite diamond flame bit with a red band. I can't tell you the diameter because I still haven't learned to distinguish these diameters, but it's not super thin and it's not super thick either. It has a pretty sharp tip which allows me to get into all the hard to reach places, and with it, I use it to finish up, clean up the leftovers, and do the finest, most detailed work. Many people say, why do you use so many bits? It's better to do everything with just one. I truly believe that in order to do really high quality work, you need to use the tool that's right for the specific situation, and there's nothing wrong with changing the bit. This bit is called a barrel. I'll be honest, I don't use it often. I have a green one, and overall it's a bit rough, but I think I like the blue one more. It was part of the set, so I tried it. Many people use this type of bit to even out the free edge instead of a nail file, and it works well. Overall, I liked it again this time, probably because of the grit. I especially like the blue one. Here the nail broke, but see how easily we cleaned it up. It will grow out and be fine. Don't worry, these nails don't tend to become ingrown or twisted. Overall, regarding the diamond barrel bit with the blue band, it's actually a very functional tool. As you can see, I'm handling it easily. You can clean the nail from the top and shape the free edge, and also use it when you need to go over the skin, like around the nail folds. I think we should give this bit a thumbs up too. Overall, I find the bit set to be quite good. The included bits are all you need, especially for beginners, and cover every necessary procedure. Next, I also go back to the previous flame-shaped bit with the red band, which I use to refine the cuticle on the thumb and make it a bit cleaner, but I always do this when working on the thumb. Remember not to overdo it. You don't need to clean up to your elbow or knee. This isn't a manicure. Our goal is to make feet feel light, not just look shiny. And here's an unexpected twist. I'm holding this strange tool in my hands. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if any of you use something like this. It's called Tweezers, and I used to work with tweezers a lot. When I taught manicure courses, I trained a lot of people specifically with this tool. I'll explain why. I always recommended this tool specifically to beginners because it's almost impossible to do something wrong with it and you can't accidentally cut the client. Because this tool doesn't allow for a super deep cut, but honestly, we don't even need that when doing a pedicure. So it lets you cut everything off in a nice even strip, but it still leaves a small amount of cuticle, and honestly, I support that more than I don't. Because I always say that I'm all for client-friendly manicures and pedicures so that it's as non-traumatic as possible and done in the salon. I still use tools like this actually, and that's why I have it in my hands right now, because I just ran out of my clean tools. I went to the salon kits and took these kinds of tweezers from there. So these are just our working tools. They've already been sharpened and resharpened, meaning they've already lived a life and seen a lot of hands and feet. Today I decided to film content with them and thought, why not show you with tweezers? They can't hurt anyone since they lack a heel and don't go in deep, so keep that in mind. After I finish cutting, I take a cleansing foam for hands. I have one from Domix. By the way, it's kind of blue. They tinted it a little just for the look. I don't know, it's cute and looks nice and refreshing. In this case, we need the cleansing foam just to wash off the dust, slightly moisturize the skin, and move on to the more pleasant procedures. We're prepping the skin to remove oil. I used almond oil for nails and cuticles. And I want to say that in this case we need the oil so that we can constantly moisturize the skin with it and so the nails stay flexible. And all of this is necessary so that our onycholysis grows out more and more each time. We're almost ready to show our progress. The oil is applied and I'm showing the result. Please pay attention. So the first visit looked like this. Our onycholysis looks like this today, but for clarity I'll attach a collage photo here so you can see how much our onycholysis has grown out. You can take a look. I'll pause the video and leave this photo up. So our first visit was on November 18 and the second cleaning, which you saw today, was on January 2. That's the kind of progress we've had with the growth. Clients often don't notice, so they say nothing is growing for me, it's just the same. To explain or prove the opposite to the client, you need to take photos and create collages like this to clearly show what, where, and how much has grown. I traced the onycholysis with a dotted line to clearly show how its curve changes as it grows out. If we keep this up, the nails will recover. Just remember to change your shoes and watch your socks. That's all from me. This was Aliona. Bye-bye.